Good afternoon. I'm Marina, and today is the Ish Show. Oh, that was a good one. What do you think?
That was better.
Yeah, this is one of my close friends, Crystal. She is absolutely an amazing person inside and out.
Thank you.
Yes. And let's talk a little bit about you.
I'm a retail sales manager and I have 3 kids and I do a lot of work with the local animal shelter.
I think that's fantastic. I really have a lot. I admire that.
We have jobs that pay the bills and then we have jobs that serve a purpose. So I try to do both.
Right, right. That says a lot when somebody takes care of animals. And I think that you're more of a animal person usually. Can you explain what you think about that?
I think that when you help animals, it's service work about something greater than yourself. And I think that you need to be a voice because they can't advocate for themselves. And I get along better with animals than people.
My husband's like that too. And I always call him Snow White because they just flock to him like on his fingertips and stuff like that. It says a lot. My husband's more about little kids, elders, and animals.
Yes.
It's my range that he doesn't give a shit about,
Yeah,
really.
kind of help the helpless, I guess, for lack of better
Yeah, because
words.
they only have their own voice, and you have to. And I think that's very noble. And I'm not saying you want a reward, but I think it's absolutely beautiful that you do that.
Thank you. And the Snow White vibe is definitely my goal.
Yeah.
I've been told that my work with the animal shelter doesn't count because it's animals and not people. I
Yeah, but
don't.
you were dealing with an idiot.
I don't feel that that's true. The idiot part, maybe yes, but I feel like everything. I mean, I'm just trying to protect something that can't protect itself, and I think that that does count.
Well, I think maybe explaining and elaborating a little bit more with the routine of doing that with the adopting and all the things that you do to, because not everybody really knows how that goes, as you understand what I mean.
Right. Yeah, I work for a nonprofit organization. We take the worst cases. We go to other shelters and animals that would normally be euthanized. We take into our care. When we run out of room in the shelter, is when the staff starts taking them home. We do round the clock care. We bottle feed. We make sure they get their shots. We make sure they get to weight. We make sure they don't failure to thrive, which they would if we didn't have them. We do all of that work, and then when they get to weight, we get them vaccinated, spay or neutered, then into the shelter for a low cost adoption, and we make no profit off of any of it. Um, there's nothing in it for me outside of seeing them go on to a better home when they would have otherwise died on the streets.
Beautiful, I think.
Yeah, it's
It's a lot of work,
it's
and you
purpose.
already have a couple jobs, and
Yes,
you've got 3 kids,
yes,
and you're a single mommy.
yes, and I'm hoping to raise the next generation of animal advocates, and that's really my goal because once the old cat ladies that are alive now, once we pass, then who's going to do it? So hopefully I can make some sort of impact.
Like, if there is one animal that you have saved, you've done good, is my
Yes,
opinion.
I absolutely agree. And we've brought 44 into our home in 4 years and turned over a successful adoption. We've only ever lost one. But I mean, it's a lot of work. And if people weren't doing those things, then imagine the numbers.
Yeah, because it's already really rough. There are so many animals that don't have homes, and a lot of them don't make it.
Yes.
And I'm glad that what you do, it's very important, and I think that it's a good purpose for you.
Thank you. I try to help where I can, and if I can't afford to make a financial donation, the least I can do is donate my time.
There we
Yes.
go. And you're single and mingling.
Yes, and trying to do all of that and date at 40. So that's
Look at her though. Inside and out. So, yeah. got the young ones that are interested. That's what's up.
Um,
Okay, so I wanted to know if you could say what the nonprofit is and explain about that part.
yeah, it's a Help Humane in Belton, Missouri. We deal with a lot of cats just because of our capacity issue. We can't really care for dogs at this time, but it's a no kill animal sanctuary.
Nice. Thank God for that. Um, I was going to start to explain a story about when I lived in San Antonio and my mom was still alive, and I brought her into the house, and first she had four animals at her apartment, and I already had four animals, and I was like, some of those got to go. Like, I can't take care of all of them, because she would have a problem. She had cancer, rare cancer, and was on dialysis and chemo and all that. And it was very hard for her to take care of the animals that she had. And I was like, I don't want to take care of all of them. So two of them, we gave them homes that were family friends of hers. So they were good to go. And my mom, actually, I didn't tell you this, that she would go and visit them until
Oh,
she died, and got pictures of the dog specifically and all that. And when my mom passed away in March, I let me get to my what was I trying to say? One moment while I figure this out. Oh, so when my mom passed away, I was left with two other animals, and I had a hard time giving a home to them. A lot of them wouldn't take the two of them. One of them is an elderly cat, like was on its last leg and everything like that. But we did, as a matter of fact, my husband's best friend knows a person that you could tell that she definitely is more about animals. And but I knew that they were going to go to a good place. Both of them got fostered and are perfectly fine.
oh, that's good.
But I'm glad. I wish I knew you then because I was freaking out. Can you explain how all that could go if you're in a
Yes.
situation like that?
Um, our animal shelter microchips the animal, and we have people sign a contract that if they can no longer care for the animal, it'll be returned to us. So we do get a lot of returns if someone passes away or
Oh,
something
I
like that.
understand.
And we'll
Okay.
always take the animal back so that they don't have to scramble to find a new home. Not every place does do that. I have seen a lot of people, a lot of animals just turned outside when their owners pass away, and we'll go trap them and bring them in because where else are they going to go? But it's really important to make those end of life plans. And this is something that I've learned working at the animal shelter. Um, I have a plan. I mean, cats can live up to 20 years, and we adopt them as kittens in our 40s, 50s, 60s. So that's great. If you want to do that, that's wonderful. But I highly recommend that you do make an end of life plan, and you make sure that everyone is aware that that is your plan for your animal, because I see that they are outliving their owners a lot. And people
Yeah.
aren't, you're not, you just don't have the ability to take them in, and that's okay. But make the plan. Always make the plan.
I guess that you know how that goes. We talked a little bit about certain things about moms and such like that. And I wasn't expecting for her to pass at that time, and it was just shocking. The whole situation was shocking, and I was like already I was grieving, and I'm like, what do I do with the animals? I can't take care of all of them, especially that one was just wired.
Yes, and that's where your family is grief stricken, and the animals really are the least of your worries at that point.
It was a big point for
If I'll
me.
be honest, and that's okay because you're grief stricken and you're just like, the last thing I can do is deal with this animal. That is where, as a pet owner, I have two foster fail cats that I adopted, and we have an end of life plan. If something were to happen to me tomorrow, we know where my cats will go.
That's amazing. How does that, that's a lot. That's it could be in like 10 years if
Yeah.
something were to happen like that. For instance, hopefully not.
Yes.
But you know what I mean? How do you have that kind of a long-term plan like that, because you never know when it could.
Yes,
How does
and
that all
that's
work?
well, my biggest thing has just been my daughter's 21, so she is plenty old enough to understand what I expect and what I want done at the end of my life. We have had paperwork drawn up. The cats will only go into her custody if she can provide them the life that I provide them. If she can't, then they will go back to the no kill animal shelter and they will get them through their PTSD, they will rehabilitate, and they will rehome accordingly.
That's exactly what I wanted to know. Because that
Yes.
is very helpful. A lot of people, like in the situation I was in, I was freaking out. I'm like, I can't just leave her downstairs, and we would take her out to go potty and everything like that. But you've seen my animals, like,
Yes.
it's all over the place, and they're wonderful animals. But and the other, my mom's dog, which I can't even think of right this second. I'm horrible with names, but she was a little too much for me.
Yeah, and that's okay because you want the animal to be put in a home where they're a good fit. They're
Exactly.
not going to be happy or successful adoptions if they're not a good fit with the people. But people don't realize that the animal suffers the loss as well. Um, so that's their owner. It's their person. That's their everyday. So sometimes they just need a little longer to get recentered, and I mean we'll put clothes in the cages and things like that, but it
Comfort.
does take them some time to readjust, and that's okay. If you take them to the right place, they'll take that time with them.
I love this. I'm glad that we did this conversation. This is show. Farts are always funny. I'm such a lady. Okay, is there anything else you'd like to say?
No.
All right. Well, have a blessed day, and I will talk to y'all later. Links underneath about the nonprofit. Talk to y'all later. Bye.